What's up guys, today Daryl here from TheLooseJoints, and today I have for you the Skeletor that comes in the DCUC and Master of the Universe Classics 2-pack. It is Skeletor and Lex Luthor. Now you've already seen the Lex Luthor part of the review, thanks to Michael Greenhut, who after I gave it to him, he wouldn't let me get it back and do a review of it on the Skeletor. So you've seen everything about the Lex Luthor and all that. I was personally surprised that it came with all that stuff, actually. I mean, like Superman that Paulo reviewed was just Superman, and that was pretty much it. Lex Luthor, even though he was like a boring type of character to me anyways, like just a bald guy, even though it was just a bald guy, at least it was a bald guy in a gigantic mech suit with a bunch of crystals. Not just a guy with a fancy hairdo and a cape. But anyways, like I said, back to the Skeletor. Here he is in all of his glory. Pretty much very similar sculpts to the rest of them. They got a nice shade of blue and purple all over the place, you know, to represent Skeletor. His face is alright. It's a nice greenish yellow color. Almost matches his big yellow sword, which unfortunately it's not the staff, but I can deal without that because I was not a He-Man kind of person, so what I don't know won't hurt me, even though I already know. But the sword is fine. Detail overall is really good. I mean, you can see all the little rivets and cracks in his face. You can see the seam in his hood, the wrinkles, all the designs on all his armor stuff, you know, his arms, stuff like that. Articulation wise, it's really good, just like a lot of the other ones. Of course, you got the head goes up and down a pretty good amount, actually. It goes the 360, and the arms go 360 as well, but it's kind of hindered by his armor. They go in and out. They swivel here at the bicep. They bend at the elbow slightly and rotate at the wrist. He has a pretty good movement in the chest, where he can move from far back to, you know, hunched over pretty good. And then he rotates at the hip, if I am not mistaken. Yes, I am not mistaken. It's just really tight. Legs go forward, legs go back, leg goes in and out. Bends once at the knee, which kind of disappointing, but it actually does really well for being only a single joint in the knee, because he can still pull off a whole variety of poses. But oh yeah, and foot goes up and down and swings side to side a little bit. But regardless of you know, his articulation and everything, the single knees actually work for this guy. As far as accessories go, you get this big yellow sword, which I don't really know why it's yellow, but why not? It's fine without the staff for me. Yeah, and then of course, like most of the Master of the Universe Classics figures, you can pop off the head, undo his strap back here, you know, and you can have naked Skeletor. Almost naked Skeletor. Ah, there we go. And then that's where his arms can go up. You can do all this like sexy poses and shit. Yeah! There we go. There's sexy Skeletor right there for you. Oh yeah. And as far as, you know, weapon storage goes, you could do that with his armor. But, you know, Skeletor moonlights as a male stripper. You know, because you got the firemen, you got the police officers. What hasn't been done? Oh, skeleton. Yeah. And, you know, look how ripped he is for his skeleton. You can see his nipples and everything. Isn't that just great? So pretty much for this 2-pack being about $35, it's pretty worth it if you consider how much, you know, if you think about it, yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, at first it sounds like a lot of money for 2 figures, 35 bucks for 2 figures. But if you think about it, with shipping, with the Mode 2 figures that you get off of Matty Collector, or you know, the DCUC figures being around 13 bucks now, it's not too bad for 35 bucks. Personally, it's a little too steep for me, but it'll do. I know this is a collector's item and stuff like that, so you get a little more bang for your buck just because of that. But overall, the figure itself is really good. I mean, if you find one, I'd definitely say pick it up. I'm sure if you find one in the stores, in Toys R Us, because it's Toys R Us exclusive, that you just got lucky and you better pick it up, because next time you come back, it's not going to be there anymore. And that's pretty much it for this figure. I like it. I don't know. I'll give it a 7 or 8. I really don't. Not being a He-Man, you know, buff. This is all right for me. I can stand with just having one. Because, you know, and I'd rather have Skeletor than He-Man, because I'd rather have some buff, cool skeleton dude with a sword than, you know, this blonde, buff dude with an axe. So, anyways, there you have it, Skeletor, and I hope you guys have a good one. Later.